Goodwill brings to you the weekly share market update dated the 2nd of March, 2024. Talking about the corporate segment, we have Tourism Finance Corporation of India shares hit a new all-time high on February 26, after the company's board approved allotment of 88.91 lakh shares to non-promoters at 225 rupees per share. The board of directors in its meeting held today discussed and approved to issue and allot up to 88.9 lakh fully paid-up equity shares of face value of 10 rupees each, at an issue price of 225 rupees, including a premium of 215 rupees each aggregating up to 200.04 rupees crore by way of preferential issue on a private placement basis, said TFCI in a stock exchange filing. Skipper shares surged 13% and hit an all-time high in early trade on February 26. After it signed a Rs 737 crore contract with Power Grid Corporation of India. The power transmission and distribution structures manufacturer bagged the order for design, supply and construction of 765 kV transmission line project. Sharon Bansal, Director, Skipper said, "We are pleased to share our latest achievement in our power transmission and distribution business, reinforcing our optimistic stance on this sector. The steady stream of orders from PGCIL has notably strengthened our order book in India's transmission and distribution domain. Whirlpool has no plans to exit the Indian market, but its recent stake sale in the India unit was due to high valuations and disparity against the global parent," CEO Mark Bitzer has said. The reassurance didn't seem to have done much as Whirlpool India shares fell 5%. To sink to a 52-week low of 1,186 rupees on February 27. The stock of the consumer durables company has crashed 9% this year, against a 0.9% rise in the benchmark Sensex. Last week, Whirlpool Corp through its wholly owned subsidiary, Whirlpool Mauritius, sold a 24% stake in the India arm, reducing its holding to 51%. SBI Mutual Fund emerged as the largest buyer, picking up a 7.2% stake, reports said. Shares of Havells India Limited gained 4% to hit a 52-week high of 1,482 rupees in the morning trade on February 27 after Goldman Sachs upgraded the rating for the wires and cables manufacturer to a buy from neutral. The global brokerage also increased the price target to 1,660 rupees from 1,540 rupees, an upside of 17% from the previous session's close. The brokerage views Havells' cost control initiatives positively, including the strategic move to shift outsourcing to its manufacturing facilities. The company's continued investments in brands and human resources, even during a downturn, are seen as favorable. Shares of Z Entertainment Enterprises fell more than 5% on February 28, a day after the media company said it had set up a panel to examine the allegations leveled against the company, its promoters, and key managerial personnel by regulatory bodies. Independent investigation committee would be headed by Justice, retired, Satish Chandra. The committee will take the necessary measures to delve into the facts of the allegations, with the sole interest to protect the rights of the company's shareholders and other stakeholders, Z said in a release. Dreamfolk Services shares surged 5% on February 28 after domestic brokerage firm Motilal Oswal initiated coverage on the airport services aggregator with a buy call. The brokerage has a target price of 650 rupees on the share, an upside of 34% from the current market price. DFS has more than a 75% volume market share in domestic airport lounges, and is the only player with 100% coverage of airport lounges, the report said. DFS is the go-to partner for banks seeking to provide complimentary access to paid airport services lounge, and this is a highly profitable and asset-light model, noted Motilal Oswal. Shares of Lumax Auto Technologies soared 7% in afternoon trade on February 29 after a large deal, worth 134.50 rupees crore, took place on the exchanges. Around 30 lakh shares, representing a 4.4% stake in the company, changed hands at an average price of 455 rupees per share. The floor price of the deal reflected a 1% discount to the stock's previous close. The large deal also tipped off a spike in volumes in the counter as 51 lakh shares changed hands on the exchanges so far, significantly higher than the one-month daily traded average of 6 lakh shares. Shares of Juniper Hotels Limited gained 9% on February 29 after Norges Bank, on account of the government pension fund Global, bought 21.7 lakh equity shares or 0.98% stake in the luxury hotel chain. The bulk deal was carried out at an average price of 398.15 rupees per share. So far in the day, a total of 50 lakh shares of the company changed hands on BSE and NSE combined. Juniper Hotels is a luxury hotel development and ownership company that runs hotels under the Hyatt brand. The company listed on February 28 at 365 rupees apiece on NSE, a premium of 1.33% over the issue price. The stock listed on a flat note at 361.20 rupees on BSE, a premium of 0.33% to the issue price. The stock ended 10.36% higher at 397.30 rupees on its debut. Shares of Happy Forgings zoomed nearly 5% in trade on March 1 after domestic brokerage Motilal Oswal initiated coverage with a buy call. The brokerage is bullish on the diversified forging and machining services company as a result of its increased capacities, product diversification, client acquisition, and emerging opportunities in industrials and exports. Motilal Oswal issued a target price of 1,125 rupees per share, seeing an upside of 21%. Happiest Minds is a supplier to each of the top 5 Indian OEMs in the medium and heavy commercial vehicles industry, and to 4 of the top 5 Indian OEMs in the farm equipment industry. Shares of ICICI Bank rallied 3% to hit a 52-week high of 1,085.3 rupees on March 1. After the private lender upped his stake in ICICI Lombard General Insurance via an open market transaction, the second such purchase in a week. The transaction came within days of the private sector lender purchasing a 1.6% stake in the issuer for 1,356 rupees crore. The stock has surged 8% so far this year, against a 2% decline in the Bank Nifty index during the period. On February 29, ICICI Bank purchased an additional 25.14 lakh shares in ICICI Lombard General Insurance for 431 rupees crore. Action Construction Equipment Limited has moved up by 27.07% this week, with a change of 316.85 points. It has traded with a net volume of 4.976 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 1,487.30. Against the previous closing price of 1,170.45. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 1,110.93, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 1,489.40 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 90.02. Paisalo Digital Limited has moved up by 26.06% this week with a change of 39.50 points. It has traded with a net volume of 30.137 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 190.9 against the previous closing price of 151.4. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 136.89, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 199.25 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 91.49. Zen Technologies Limited has moved up by 19.11% this week, with a change of 153.15 points. It has traded with a net volume of 2.467 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 954.55. Against the previous closing price of 801.4. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 823.63, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 954.55 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 70.47. GET&D India Limited has moved up by 18.79% this week, with a change of 155.45 points. It has traded with a net volume of 482.591 thousand shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 982.65, against the previous closing price of 827.2. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 751.95, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 999 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 86.58. Nifty has entered into positive trend in last trading session. You can go long in Nifty with stop loss of 21,963 on daily closing basis. Nifty would be considered strong till it trades above 21,963 levels. Nifty support levels are 22,140, 21,941 and 21,834. Nifty resistance levels are 22,445, 22,552 and 22,751. Bank Nifty has entered into positive trend in last trading session. You can go long in Bank Nifty with stop loss of 46,054 on daily closing basis. Bank Nifty would be considered strong till it trades above 46,054 levels. Bank Nifty support levels are 46,556, 45,825 and 45,432. Bank Nifty resistance levels are 47,680, 48,073 and 48,804.
You can reach us via phone, WhatsApp, or email using the information listed on the screen. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more financial insights. And, as always, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, leave them in the comments section below. Until next time, happy investing.